In a peaceful village, there lived a farmer who owned an old donkey named Boro. Once strong and hardworking, Boro had spent years helping his master pull carts and carry goods, but now he was weak and no longer useful. The farmer let Boro wander freely in the fields, living out his final days in quiet solitude. One day, while searching for fresh grass near an abandoned well, Boro lost his footing and tumbled straight down into its deep, dark depths. He rolled and cried out desperately. His mournful brays echoed across the quiet countryside until a young shepherd boy named Keto heard the noise. Curious and alarmed, Keto ran over and gasped when he saw Boro trapped at the bottom of the well. Without wasting time, he sprinted back to the village to alert the farmer. The farmer, along with some neighbors, rushed to the scene. They tried everything to rescue Boro, tying ropes to pull him up, using wooden planks to create a platform, but nothing worked. After hours of failed attempts, the farmer let out a heavy sigh. He looked down at Boro with regret in his eyes. He's too old. Maybe it's best to let him go peacefully. With a solemn nod, he instructed the villagers to start filling the well with dirt, intending to bury the old donkey. The neighbors hesitated, but eventually obeyed. One by one, shovelfuls of soil began raining down onto Boro's back. At first, Boro panicked. He brayed loudly, his heart pounding as the soil threatened to bury him alive. But then, as the dirt piled up, a thought struck him. If I stay still, I'll be buried. But if I don't give up, maybe there's a way out. Instead of surrendering, Boro started shaking off the dirt from his back and stepping up onto the rising ground. Every time the villagers shoveled more soil in, he would shake it off and climb higher. Slowly but surely, he began to ascend. The people above started to notice something strange. Instead of sinking under the dirt, Boro was rising. The farmer's eyes widened as he realized what was happening. Is he climbing out? One of the villagers gasped. The soil continued to pile up, and with one final push, Boro leaped out of the well and landed firmly on solid ground. He stood there, breathing heavily, his body covered in dust, but his eyes gleamed with triumph. No one could believe what they had just witnessed. The old, useless donkey had defied death in the most incredible way. Without looking back at the farmer, Boro trotted away into the open fields where the golden sunlight stretched far and wide. He now understood that, from this moment on, his life was no longer in anyone else's hands. He would decide his own fate. Lessons from the story. When faced with challenges, you can either let them bury you or use them as stepping stones to rise higher. Don't wait for someone to save you. Sometimes you are the only one who can change your fate. Others may underestimate you, but your true value is not determined by them. It is proven by your actions. So, when life throws dirt at you, will you let it bury you, or will you step up and rise?